At 80 years old, Eleanor thought keeping her home clean and peaceful was simply impossible. Her knees ached whenever she stood for too long. Her hands weren't as steady as they used to be. And most days, she felt like her home was controlling her instead of the other way around. But one simple week changed everything. Just 7 days, 6 small habits, less than 20 minutes a day. And suddenly, her house became what she had always dreamed it could be, a sanctuary of calm, joy, and comfort. What if I told you that in just 1 week, you could feel lighter, more in control, and wake up every morning in a home that supports you, instead of draining your energy? Stay with me, because Eleanor's story might just become your story, too. Day 1, the morning reset. On Monday morning, Eleanor shuffled into her kitchen, already weighed down by yesterday's clutter. 2 teacups sat on the counter. A stack of unopened mail leaned against the toaster. A dish towel hung half off a chair, forgotten from the night before. She hadn't even had her coffee yet, and already she fell behind. At 80, her mornings were her clearest time. She woke up alert, with more energy than she'd have later in the day. Yet, she spent those precious hours just shifting clutter from one spot to another. The thought of tackling it all felt overwhelming, and often she just gave up, but later usually meant never. By evening, the mess had doubled. That day, Eleanor decided to try something new. She set a timer for exactly 5 minutes. No more, no less. Then she made herself a promise. Touch each item only once. If she picked something up, she had to decide what to do with it. A bill went straight into her folder. Junk mail went into recycling. The cup went into the sink to be washed right away. Nothing went back on the counter. And if something took more than 10 seconds to deal with, she placed it in a small basket to handle after breakfast. In those 5 minutes, something shifted. Her counters began to clear. She could see the table surface again. Even the air felt lighter. It was as if she had made space, not just in her kitchen, but in her mind. The beauty of this morning reset is that it works with the natural rhythm of older adults. Your focus and energy are sharpest in the morning, before fatigue or discomfort set in. By clearing small, visible clutter first thing, you stop the buildup that turns into weekend overwhelm. And starting the day in a tidy space sets a calm, positive tone for everything that follows. For Eleanor, the change was remarkable. Instead of spending 30 minutes just clearing a space to make oatmeal, she now began her mornings with clean counters and a sense of control. Her joint pain flared less because she didn't have to twist or reach around messes. And she stopped losing things like her glasses or medication under piles of paper. She told me later, "It makes me feel 10 years younger. I'm not starting each day already behind." If you'd like to try this tomorrow, here's your first step. Before you make coffee or check your phone, set a timer for 5 minutes. Touch each visible item once. Put away, throw it away, or place it in a small basket for later. Don't overthink it. Just act. 1 habit, 5 minutes, and you'll prevent 80% of your daily clutter before the day truly begins. Imagine stepping into your kitchen tomorrow morning and seeing open counters, ready for breakfast and peace. That's what Eleanor found, and you can too. Day 2, the evening gratitude walkthrough. By Tuesday, Eleanor was ready for her next step. Evenings had always been hard for her. Little messes seemed to gather on tables, chairs, and shelves. She'd look around and feel defeated, knowing she didn't have the strength for a long cleaning session. But this time, instead of dreading the evening, she created a ritual that became her favorite part of the day. At 7 p.m., just before dinner, she picked up a small basket and began her gratitude walkthrough. She moved slowly through each room, carrying the basket. She didn't rush. She simply noticed what was out of place, picked it up, and returned it to its home. Here was the key. With each item she touched, she whispered a quiet, "Thank you." In the living room, as she fluffed her cushion, she thought, "Thank you for this chair that holds me while I read." In the kitchen, wiping the counter, she said, "Thank you for this stove that still lets me cook my favorite meals." In her bedroom, folding a sweater, she smiled. "Thank you for the warmth that kept me cozy today." This wasn't just tidying. It was turning chores into moments of appreciation. Science shows that gratitude releases endorphins, the brain's natural feel-good chemicals. What once felt like a burden now felt like a blessing. The walkthrough never took more than 10 minutes, sometimes less. But Eleanor noticed deep changes quickly. She went to bed calmer. Instead of lying awake worrying about tomorrow, she rested, knowing her home was in order. Her sleep improved. Her mood lifted. She woke up feeling refreshed. The physical benefits surprised her, too. The gentle walking kept her joints moving. Bending to pick up a book or fold a blanket became a natural stretch. Unlike exhausting weekend cleanups, this routine was soothing. By the end of the week, Eleanor found herself looking forward to evenings. Her home felt like a safe haven, not a source of stress. She said, "It's as if my house is thanking me back." You can do this too. Choose a time that works, maybe before dinner or before bed. Take a small basket, walk slowly through your rooms, and return only the items that don't belong. As you go, think of one thing you appreciate about each space. End by pausing, taking 3 deep breaths, and acknowledging what you've done. It's a small act, but it creates peace that lasts all night. Imagine drifting to sleep not with worry, but with gratitude for the life you're still living in your home. That's the gift Eleanor discovered on day 2. Day 3, the paper P system. By Wednesday, Eleanor knew she couldn't ignore the growing pile of paper that had taken over her dining area. Bills stacked on one end of the table, old forms buried under coupons, a half-read magazine, a doctor's note, a letter from her niece, mixed in with junk mail. Every time she wanted to sit down to eat, she had to move the piles aside. Sometimes she just gave up and ate in her armchair. Paper clutter felt heavier than anything else. Every envelope seemed to whisper, "Deal with me later." And later never came. Eleanor admitted, "I used to dread opening the mail. I felt like it would never end." That Wednesday, she started a new system, the paper P system. The rule was simple. Each piece of paper could only be touched once. No more shuffling it between piles. No more, "I'll do it someday." The moment it was in her hands, she made a decision. She created 4 categories. 1, to do, bills to pay, appointments to confirm. 2, to keep, medical records, important documents. 3, to read later, magazines, newsletters she enjoyed. 4, to toss, recycling or trash. She set up a small tray on the counter for action items, writing due dates right on the envelopes. For important files, she bought a simple expanding folder labeled medical, financial, legal, personal. For her read later pile, she placed a basket beside her favorite chair. When it filled up, she donated the oldest items before adding new ones, so it never overflowed. The change was immediate. Instead of chaos on the dining table, everything had a place. She paid bills on time. She found important papers in seconds. Her table cleared, and she started doing puzzles again, something she hadn't done in years. The system worked because it removed decision fatigue. She no longer handled the same paper over and over. She made the choice once, and it was done. Eleanor said with relief, "For the first time in years, I feel like I'm not drowning in paper." If you want to try this, start small. Set up 4 spots, a tray for action items, a folder for keeps, a basket for reading, and a bin for recycling. When tomorrow's mail arrives, make your decision right then. Handle each piece only once. Imagine sitting down at your dining table tonight and seeing it clear, ready for dinner, instead of buried under envelopes. That's the gift of the paper P system. Day 4, the strategic dish strategy. By Thursday, Eleanor faced her biggest challenge, the sink full of dishes. For years, it had been a magnet for dirty plates, mugs, and pans. Breakfast leftovers would sit all day, joined by lunch dishes. By evening, she'd face a towering pile that felt impossible to tackle. She once told me, "There were nights I just walked away. I'd go to bed with the kitchen a mess and wake up already defeated." At 80, standing at the sink for an hour wasn't just unpleasant. It was painful. Her knees ached. Her back hurt. Her hands, stiff with arthritis, grew sore from scrubbing. What should have been simple had become a source of dread, and it affected her habits. She cooked less. She ate frozen meals. She skipped dinner to avoid cleanup. The joy of making soup, baking bread, or her favorite apple pie had faded. That Thursday, everything changed when she discovered the strategic dish strategy. Step 1. Use fewer dishes. She started preparing, mixing, and eating her oatmeal in the same bowl. She lined baking sheets with parchment paper. No stuck-on food, no scrubbing. She used one lightweight cutting board and rinsed it immediately after use. Step 2. Prepare the sink before cooking. She filled it with warm, soapy water before she started, dropping utensils and tools in as she finished with them. By the time dinner was ready, most were already clean. And the heart of the system, the one plate, one cup rule. She chose one special plate, one favorite cup, and one set of silverware for daily use. After each meal, she washed them immediately, no exceptions. It took less than a minute. Because she never let dishes pile up, the mountain disappeared. Within days, her kitchen transformed. The sink stayed clear. The counters felt open. When a neighbor visited, she welcomed them in proudly. No more hiding the mess. But the biggest surprise? Her love of cooking returned. With cleanup simple, she made fresh soups, salads, and even pulled out her old bread pan to bake again. It feels like I got a piece of myself back, she said, eyes shining. Her body felt better too. 3 minutes of light washing caused no strain. Her hands hurt less. And emotionally, she felt proud, not guilty, when she looked at her kitchen. You can try this tonight. Choose one plate, one cup, one set of silverware. Wash them right after each meal. Keep soapy water ready while cooking. Use parchment when baking. Picture this. You finish dinner, rinse your plate, wash your cup, and in under 3 minutes, your sink is empty. No piles. No dread. Just peace. That's the promise of the strategic dish strategy. It gave Eleanor back her joy, and it can do the same for you. Day 5. The 10-item treasure hunt. By Friday, Eleanor noticed something interesting. Even with her new habits, little things still scattered during the day. A book here, a sweater there. None were major, but together, they made her living space feel cluttered. In the past, she'd look around and think, I need to clean the whole room, and that thought would drain her energy. But Friday, she tried something new, the 10-item treasure hunt. Twice a day, she walked through her main living area with a basket and pick up exactly 10 misplaced items. Not 9, not 15, exactly 10. Each item went back to its proper place. No corners, no piles. The first time, she was amazed. 10 items didn't sound like much, but the room instantly looked clearer. Her coffee table was free. Her chair was ready. The floor was open. It took 2 minutes. The power? It's manageable. You're not cleaning the whole house, just putting 10 things away. That clarity makes it doable. And the instant results keep you going. She did it after lunch and after dinner, 2 minutes each time. That's 140 items returned every week. Soon, her home stayed tidy almost on its own, and there was joy in it. She found a lost earring, a forgotten library book, an old photo tucked in a novel. It feels like I'm playing a game with my house, she laughed. And I always win. Try it today. Pick your main room. Set a 2-minute timer. Find 10 items out of place. Return them. Stop at 10. Imagine walking into your living room tonight. Clear, cozy, and welcoming, all from 2 minutes of effort. That's the magic of the treasure hunt. Day 6, the Sunday deep spot. By Sunday, Eleanor was enjoying the peace her new habits brought. Counters clear, evenings calm, papers managed, dishes under control, living room inviting. But there were still hidden spots, the drawer full of old batteries, the top of the dresser covered in scarves and mail, the medicine cabinet with expired bottles. These weren't daily chores, but they weighed on her. In the past, she'd try to clean the whole house on Sunday. She'd start strong, but within hours, she'd be exhausted, in pain, and surrounded by half-finished tasks. This time, she tried the Sunday deep spot. One small area. 15 minutes. That's it. First, Sunday, the medicine cabinet. She emptied it, wiped the shelves, sorted everything. Expired items gone. Essentials neatly arranged. Timer rang. She stopped. Done. Next Sunday, the spice drawer. Cleaned, organized, labeled. In 15 minutes, it went from frustrating to satisfying. Week by week, she tackled one spot. The dresser top, the junk drawer, a shelf in the closet. Always one. Always 15 minutes. Over time, her home felt deeply organized. She opened drawers without dread. She smiled at her progress. She even started taking before and after photos, creating a quiet album of renewal. She called it her 15 minutes of meditation. Focused, peaceful, rewarding. You can do this too. Make a list of problem spots. On Sunday, pick one. Set a 15-minute timer. Work steadily. Stop when it rings. Take a photo. Celebrate. Imagine opening a cluttered drawer and seeing it neat and useful. Imagine transforming your home, slowly, gently, without stress. That's the gift of the Sunday deep spot. 6 days. That's all it took for Eleanor to feel like her home and her life had changed in a way she never thought possible. Monday, 5 minutes of morning clarity. Tuesday, gratitude in the evening. Wednesday, freedom from paper chaos. Thursday, joy in cooking, thanks to simple cleanup. Friday, cleaning as a playful game. Sunday, a peaceful ritual that renewed her space. By week's end, she looked around and felt something she hadn't in years: pride. Her home was no longer a burden. It was a sanctuary, a place to rest, read, cook, welcome friends, and enjoy her life. She said, "It feels like my home is finally on my side. I used to fight it. Now it helps me live better." In the months that followed, her energy grew. She spent more time in her garden, read more books, invited family over without worry, hosted her friends for tea again. Her stress dropped, her sleep improved, her joy returned. All because of 6 small habits, less than 20 minutes a day. And if it can happen for Eleanor, it can happen for you too.